Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Doing Dating Right show. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Carrington.
And on this show, we answer the questions that you guys send in about relationships, your walk with God, or anything in general. And today, Carrington is going to read the question. But you guys, I wanted to let you know that this weekend, doors are closing to the Worthy of the Wait Institute. So Worthy of the Wait is a program that prepares you for marriage, and the real benefit of being a part of the program is that you learn feminine communication skills. And the real benefit to you is that these skills are not only going to set you apart in the dating field right now, but they'll also transfer to your future marriage. In fact, a student that went through the last cohort, Janine, she had a great experience learning and implementing the things that she learned, and she is currently in a healthy relationship, and they've already started talking about marriage. So I'm really, really excited for her. So doors close this weekend. You can join by going to worthyofthewait.com or simply clicking the link in the description box below.
So the question today says this. About 2 months ago, I randomly met a guy in person, and we hit it off right away. He asked for my number and texted me the next day. He ended up calling me and asked me on a date for in the middle of the week. He said he figured Friday would be the best day, but he didn't want to wait that long to see me. We went on our first date, vibed well, and had good conversation. We texted all day, every day for a month. We went on our second date, and it also went well. At the end of the date, he asked me what I was wanting, and I told him I wanted to take things really slow and for us to build a friendship before rushing into being in a relationship. He had seemed to be wanting to move things very quickly, and though I appreciated how clear he was, I wanted to take it slow. I wanted the relationship to be long-lasting, so I wasn't wanting to kiss or do anything that would push the relationship far yet because I was very much still getting to know him. He had also told me he just got out of a relationship 3 months ago that was 1.5 years long. By the end of our conversation on that second date, I asked him if he felt that we were on the same page, and he told me that we were. A few days later, he called me and told me he sees us just as being friends, which was so far off on how he was courting me the whole time. I was left confused. My question is this. Although I believe this was God's protection, how do I get over the idea that I am missing out on who God has for me and that I potentially did something wrong and I'm missing out on this relationship? Thank you, and I appreciate you.
I mean, my initial thought hearing this question is that he was salty that you was trying to take it so slow. And he may have been in his feelings or felt a little sense of rejection. And before he can really feel that sense of rejection, he wanted to get ahead of you so he wasn't completely rejected. So that's the thought that I got.
So this is the thought that I get. Standards are great for shaking up situations. When you implement standards, it opens the door for you to have clarity about why somebody's there, if they really mean what they say they mean, and what their intentions are, and whether or not they're ready for what you desire. I say that because you expressed, you basically said that, hey, I want to move slow, build a friendship with you before we get into a relationship. I'm not trying to kiss. I ain't really trying to do nothing that could cause us to speed up this process.
Yeah.
And you saying that and setting that standard and putting out that expectation, it forced him to go home and ask himself, am I willing to wait? Do I see her value to the point to where I'm willing to move slow in a relationship? And because you implemented those standards, it forced him to ask that question. And he came to the conclusion that, no, I ain't.
Yeah.
Which is great and 100% fine. And so the way that you deal with the perspective or the question mark of, am I missing out on what God has for me? If you were missing out on what God has for you, then you would have never implemented those standards that align with what God wants for you. If you implement what God desires for you from a standard and expectation position and somebody leaves, you're not missing out on anything. That's God opening your eyes to see that, hey, this man ain't about that action.
Right.
And is not wanting to glorify me in this relationship.
Yeah.
Therefore, as you express, this is God protecting you and keeping you from something that's out of alignment of what he has for you.
Yeah, and I really like what Carrington said, that standards essentially help you weed out people.
100%. Yeah.
And so although he was very intentional with his pursuit, when you let him know and made him aware of your standards, if he gracefully bowed out, that's on him. So no, it's not your loss. It's actually his loss. You are a woman of standard. You know what you want. You're not thirsty. You weren't just trying to quick and jump into a relationship just because he was talking about it.
Yeah.
It says so much about you. So don't beat yourself up, and continue to communicate your standards in a feminine way. So Pat, shouts out to you. All is well, and the man that God has for you, he's going to appreciate a woman who has standards and who can communicate them in a way where she's standing firm. So if anyone else has questions for us, feel free to email us at info@802gametime.com. You can also follow us on social media and submit your questions there. I'm at Ashley Empowers.
And I'm at the Carrington Brown.
So what should they comment?
I think you guys should comment down below a standard that you introduced to a relationship that caused the relationship to end. What is a new standard that you added to a relationship that once the other person heard, they was like, I'm good on this. Peace out. Right? Comment that below.
Let us know. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, y'all.